In an unexpected online post that immediately went viral, Blueface alleged that you and Offset had slept together behind Cardi B's back. Cardi, and you hadn't talked about it publicly until recently. Cardi responded cautiously, expressing doubts about the report's accuracy and emphasizing that the matter was private and only involved her and the parties. That was her statement, plain and simple. But hold on, stop everything. This is a serious issue. The revelation stunned social media, taking Cardi by surprise and starting what many are calling the most explosive betrayal scandal of 2025. Finally, Rock and Chrissy have admitted something that no one could have foreseen. Because this confession is so honest, so poignant, and so intentionally upsetting, many are referring to it as the ultimate act of vengeance. The repercussions are immediate. The internet is blazing. A flurry of talk is going on. Furthermore, the public is struggling to understand the full extent of this discovery's cruelty and profundity. She cried uncontrollably and apologized while delivering hateful remarks live. Chen Rock's revelation is the kind that chills people to their core. She admitted to having an affair with Offset, as did Chrissy. She didn't say it aloud either. She finished the painting. The place, the moment, and most importantly, the cause. It was all about your name, Cardi B, according to Chrisean. Cardi had teased, singled her out, and undermined her behind closed doors. She called this retaliation. Her tone was harsh. She thought she could mock me behind my back. In fact, her man was in my bed. Within minutes, the internet took off. Offset remained silent. Even though Card's camp was frozen, the cameras remained recording, and new information began emerging. The inquiries started to pour in. For what reason did Chrisean remain silent? Was Cardi involved in Blueface's latest breakdown? And why are industry insiders guessing that, rather than being the first time Offset's betrayal was committed, this was the first time it was ruthlessly exposed? This situation is more than just disorganized. It is dynamic and always evolving. Long before the live webcasts that disrupted schedules, rumors were rife in the industry hallways. Rumor had it that something had happened between Chrisean and Offset. Cardi's own behind-the-scenes behavior had gone too far, according to the silent warnings. The storm was gathering, but no one knew where or when it would break. It has now, and its impact has been compared to an online shockwave. However, it's important to remember that this story did not start on TikTok or during a live stream. It began offstage at private events in VIP sections where people valued secrets over money and cameras were not allowed. From the start, Cardi B and Chrisean Rock were not friends. Contrary to what fans may have believed, people believed that they at least respected one another. Two strong, independent women were worthy of respect in a male-dominated sector. Chrisean's admission, nevertheless, has fundamentally altered that narrative. Her words, the respect never existed. The world had assumed it was just industry darkness, but it was actually a performance, a mask covering something much deeper. Cardi B was accused of mocking her, prying into her personal life, and even calling her ghetto garbage in secret group chats with other female rappers. Chrisean claimed that the jeering was constant. She felt like a joke, a carnival act, and no one in the business would ever take her seriously. Then things took an unexpected turn. The offset of the card itself, the husband had done more than just watch the event unfold. If he is correct, Chrisean went into the storm. It began very gently. She used a single fire emoji in one of her Instagram thirst traps. She brushed it off, then came the direct text. According to Chrisean, it initially felt harmless, like a few words of encouragement from someone who saw her destroyed. Like, you're better than what they say about you, or keep grinding. They're scared of you. But then the crucial night in Miami came when Cardi recently attacked a podcast with fresh criticism. After that sting, Chrisean says, everything with Offset shifted in a way no one could have predicted. She went live and casually said, I avoid hanging around with disheveled girls. I was already fired up by that point, the alcohol pulsing through my veins. Offset showed up at the party that same evening and we ended up talking. He was smoother than expected and polite, and soon one thing led to another. The internet exploded. On impact, its roots date back to the end of 2024. Instead of using music to make headlines, Chrisean Rock used upheaval, courtroom drama, angry interviews, public outbursts, and the ongoing feud with Blueface. She had a reputation for being unpredictable and dangerous for sponsorships. In the meantime, Cardi B was carefully altering her image. And with her makeup brand doing well, a new reality show in the works, and multiple award nominations, she was entering the world of moguls. Industry sources claim that Cardi purposefully drew a line, saying she made sure brands knew she didn't want her name tied to Chrisean. In reality, an underlying rivalry simmered between the two women who seemed to be pursuing divergent paths. The doors began to close quietly. Whispers became a soft industrial freeze, teams unfollowed, and offers for collaborations disappeared. Every detail, the lost chances, the subtle shadow, and even the small things like blog postings dragging her while Card's burner account suddenly liked them were all visible to Chrisean. Then the tipping point arrived. Cardi was asked about up-and-coming female rappers during an interview in February 2025. The public rejection was the final straw. And behind the scenes, Chrisean lost it, attacking shared acquaintances, unfollowing Card's stylist, and beginning to post enigmatic comments on the internet. Cardi laughed, hesitated, and continued. I don't know her. The circus isn't for me anymore. Same energy when I see you? Boo. Y'all love fake girls who act classy and move nasty. At first, people brushed it off as typical Chrisean chaos. But those who were watching closely knew something bigger was brewing. At first, most people dismissed the whispers as nothing more than internet chatter. But behind the scenes, Offset had already made his move. Sources claimed he and Chrisean were seen together privately on multiple occasions in recent months, with one blurry paparazzi shot outside in Atlanta. Studio later sparking new speculation as fans zoomed in to identify Keon's bag and Offset's old Maybach. What made the story even louder was Offset's silence. No tweets, no posts, no subtle denials, while Cardi B remained equally quiet. Keon, however, broke the silence during a live stream, admitting she had stayed quiet for months out of guilt. But once her name was dragged, she decided to strike back, framing it not as petty revenge, but as a calculated move to deliver a headline too big to erase. The bombshell alone was explosive, but it was only the beginning. As screenshots of burner accounts, leaked text, and an enigmatic Cardi B response that fans believed was aimed directly at Chrisean all contributed to the fire, turning what seemed to be gossip into a storm of planned destruction. Chrissy backed up her claims with screenshots, voice notes, receipts, and even Cash App records. And halfway through her live, she challenged skeptics by pointing her camera at another phone and scrolling through messages that were allegedly from Offset's verified account. Although the messages were blurry, they were clear enough to reveal jaw-dropping lines like, "Even though I know this would harm her, I no longer give a damn." Then came the voice note, which was unmistakably Offset's lazy tone and soft drawl, stating that he wanted peace with Chrissy and was sick of fake energy. Twitter erupted in a frenzy as fans were shocked that he might have deceived Cardi once more. The more intriguing twist was that Offset himself confessed to a friend in a since-deleted Instagram story that he had. Thus, Chrissy wasn't the first to share it. Rapper Lil Flip, who is associated with Offset's camp, went live and casually confirmed that he had advised Offset not to mess with Chrissy because she would expose him when he was found slipping. Offset dismissed this, even claiming he was done playing Card's public relations husband. Long-standing speculations that Offset and Cardi's marriage was more business than romance were rekindled by that admission. A collaboration based on social influence and brand deals rather than closeness. Offset has reportedly been drifting, according to insiders, working in studios where Cardi is never invited and having more parties. Additionally, footage from a late April session has surfaced, showing Chrissy strolling by holding a bottle of Casamigos as Offset raps. A once overlooked clip that has been further examined. Proof of a controversy that continues to develop. Cardi B's camp is apparently in disarray behind the scenes, but they're mute in public. A purportedly leaked email from her public relations staff to a brand partner asked that all Offset-related marketing be put on pause until more information was available. This action that Keon Rock is doing great, but Cardi is having trouble. In a single day, her live stream received over 1.8 million views, breaking previous records, gaining new fans, and sparking fan pages with titles like Bardish Revenge and Offset Rock. Additionally, she's fueling the fire by hinting at a brand new song called Circus Act, which is clearly aimed at Cardi in the wake of her well-known circus girl remark in a podcast. Fans are certain that the song is a diss track masquerading as a club anthem. And it hits hard. The lyrics are unrepentant. You threw dirt on my name. Now it's diamonds in my bed. You're crowned for the night. Now you're tweeting instead. Your man said I'm peace, so I left your house in pieces. When a burner account that many thought was. Cardi, based on IP traces and writing style, retaliated against X with a warning. Tensions increased even more. Avoid becoming too cozy. This brief moment is over. We are not alike. Another twist followed when Blueface, Chrisean's ex-boyfriend and unpredictable partner, chimed in with an enigmatic message that baffled fans and led them to make associations between names like Lil Baby and DaBaby. At the height of the tempest, reports that Drake previously brought roses to Croydon following her Zeus debut have resurfaced, intensifying the spectacle surrounding her. Reports have a habit of coming full circle when the time is most deadly. Many people find this little tidbit of rumors to be more like fuel added to an already blazing fire than a recollection, which begs the issue of how deeply the industry is interested in Chrisean. She glides with a terrifying composure amidst the commotion surrounding her name, as though every moment of drama had been meticulously foreseen. She made a statement at the end of her most recent live stream that stopped the internet cold. This is about retaliation, not influence. I removed her artwork because she was trying to erase me. She portrayed herself as the hunted who turned into the hunter, and those few words, framing the entire story as a cold fight of survival and retribution rather than as petty rivalry. Now when the tensions are at an all-time high, Cardi is the center of attention. Her quiet has been deafening for weeks, but according to insiders, she's getting set to break it in the most dramatic way possible with a candid podcast appearance that is already being hinted at as a scorched earth reaction. The suspense is oppressive. The question is not whether she will talk, but rather how harshly she will retaliate when she does. Would she be able to strategically undo Croydon's momentum in a single action? Or has Rock caused so much trouble that Card's star power is insufficient to stop it? The waiting is intolerable because of that uncertainty. Given that whatever Cardi says might completely alter the course of this conflict, both fans and critics are circling the date. Jada's silence, however, simply makes the mystery more complex. Almost like a ghost, she has avoided the topic, as though she is aware that every mistake could send her further into the quicksand. Nevertheless, conjecture flourishes amid that quiet. Every screenshot and shady allegation regarding Invisible receipts contributes to the growing fear on social media. The whole business is preparing for the impact of Chrisean, hinting at a final tape drop that is said to include evidence that could terminate his career. The prospect alone has artists, fans, and executives riveted to their screens, regardless of whether it will be a leaked call, a compromising video, or a damaging set of documents. And Offset comes next. His silence is more telling than any press statement and lingers longer than any vocal message. His lack of participation in the world is waiting, and everyone is aware that the next move has the potential to completely alter the hip-hop landscape rather than merely ruin individual reputations. Then it took place. Instead of responding with a lyric, a tweet, or even an Instagram tirade, Cardi expertly exploded the moment by unexpectedly appearing on the Big Facts Unedited podcast. More than 400,000 supporters tuned in a matter of minutes, eager to support her. Her tone was icy enough to ice the room, and she looked perfect, unflappable. Cardi hardly batted an eye when questioned directly about Offset and Chrisean. It wasn't denial, it wasn't defense, it was domination. The stillness that followed was deafening, but then she went deeper. He wasn't hers, he's mine, still is. Because I'm the one with the empire. She's the one with receipts and no respect. Cardi changed the narrative from one of victim to queenpin, but it wasn't over yet. As if on cue, a new leak surfaced on Discord and Twitter, a shaky studio video that was allegedly taken within Offset circle. The images were hazy, but the sound was terribly distinct. I told you not to bring this public. I'm not your secret, brr. She was dissing me. What do you expect? Offset replied. But Chrisean cut him off with venom. Just what? Just revenge? Just sex? Just a war with your wife? Offset's attempt to minimize the situation put a stop to the internet, implying that it was more than just a messy affair. Had Chrisean been a consenting participant in a game far larger than herself, or was Offset using her as a weapon in his marital conflicts? Then Blueface fueled the flames with gasoline. "You guys think she's nuts now?" he said in jest. "She's simply getting warmed up. Cardi better watch her back. She doesn't even know the half." Then came the bomb. She got more tapes. Bro, Offset isn't the only one. Instantly, chaos erupted. More tapes. Who else was caught in her crossfire? Speculation exploded. Rumors that Chrisean had been quietly recording encounters with other rappers with names like Lil Baby, Ghana, and even a legendary West Coast heavyweight whispered in comment threads. The frenzy only intensified when a former friend posting under the handle at Rock Confident leaked voice notes allegedly pulled from Chrisean's own phone. In them, she coldly declared, "If Cardi wants to call me a joke, let me become her cameo. I'm going to cause her to bleed each time she logs in." Then came the line that immediately became ingrained in the history of the internet. She believed she had a partner. "I demonstrated to her that she had a plot, barbaric." TikTokers remixed it in a matter of minutes. Card's face was covered in derisive commentary on meme pages, and YouTubers broke it down frame by frame. However, something more dangerous was already happening behind the scenes while the internet chuckled and riposted. WME-affiliated sources verified that Card's legal team had sent a cease and desist order to Chrisean, claiming she was profiting from disruption at Card's expense by using leaked voice notes, unapproved video, defamation, and emotional distress. Social media warfare was no longer the only aspect of the spectacle. It was becoming a battleground for the law. Rumor has it that Card's team thinks Chrisean planned the whole event as a shrewd ploy to promote her songs and generate interest in her reality TV pilot. This is supposedly supported by hacked emails from her managers, which plot the livestream scheduling for optimal visibility and even hint that Offset's confession might be exploited to take advantage of trending algorithms. With a bold Instagram story that read, "Lawsuit," and warning that she had her own evidence to bring to court before teasing midnight, Chrisean swiftly responded, suggesting that she was using Offset as a weapon rather than merely exposing him. "I've offset my entire set of side receipts." As soon as the bomb was dropped, the internet locked in. In the meantime, Offset seemed to vanish, with no postings, no appearances, tour dates discreetly canceled, and rumors that he had lost control of the narrative. Cardi fueled the fires with a single cryptic tweet: "Keep poking the dragon. Watch what I breathe out." Chrisean then escalated the situation just before midnight with a horrifying black screen video that had 3 names in blood. Red text, Offset. Cardi, Jada, and Chief Wada, Lil Baby's ex. Everyone was taken aback by Jada's appearance, which sparked speculation that Chrisean was going to reveal the internet trembled as Chrisean's post went live at 12 o'clock. It was more than simply adultery. It was about ruining Offset's loyalty, ruining Cardi's reputation, and entangling a whole bunch of women in a tempest of betrayal, revenge, and legacy drama that was appropriate for Atlanta's most explosive story. Whispers became vehement disputes in the hours that followed, and rumors became a buzz. It turned into an open conflict after images, private conversations, leaked voice notes, and even Offset's backseat confessions surfaced on the timeline. Cardi B's loyal fan group, who are known for their fierce defense, launched an offensive. Don't you think that hashtag flooded X and Instagram hashtag WeRide4CARDI hashtag Offset? Hashtag Clouchaser Energy hashtag cancel. This had evolved into psychological warfare rather than a controversy involving cheating. Then there was a sudden change in the situation. A verified account claiming to be Card's legal team tweeted, "We are actively pursuing legal consequences for unauthorized recordings and malicious defamation." Offset employees betrayed the woman who helped to elevate him, but everyone wanted repercussions. Cardi dragged Offset through storms, as fans pointed out, and now his behavior has made him out to be the most degrading spouse in contemporary music. The post vanished in less than 10 minutes, but not before screenshots went viral. At a Clubhouse discussion, someone named Sasha, who formerly worked in public relations for Migos, fueled the flames by claiming that Cardi and Offset's marriage had been unstable since 2023 and that Offset had always felt overshadowed by her success. That single sentence sparked rumors that Cardi and Offset were divorcing. TikTok creators immediately jumped on the comment, examining the dynamics of envy, ego, and Chrisean's desire for vengeance. The subject line of a leaked email from a Label involved in Chrisean's distribution deal read, Brand Risk Mitigation Strategy, Rock vs. Cardi Fallout. Nevertheless, this tale was no longer confined to backstage rumors. One thing was evident as the Globe scrutinized every facet of the drama. Cardi was not just watching. She was strategizing her next move. 2 days following the live stream, the message explained plans to postpone Chrisean's launch, including putting a stop to promotional efforts, delaying interviews, and delaying tour announcements while preparing for any legal action. She had thought that Chrisean's plan would damage Card's reputation, but it had grown out of control and become a firestorm that threatened her own career. Before a 12-second Instagram video with a diamond ring spinning on marble and the words, "You can keep him," drastically altered the situation. She was cleaning up her social media accounts, changing her profiles, and planning one-time appearances. The tweet, which garnered over 8 million views in 3 hours, instantly sparked a schism in the rap world, with some women backing Cardi and others shockingly supporting Chrisean. Asian Doll stated, "She said what needed to be said." When Cardi was criticizing Ruby Rose and co-signing a Twitter warning, she played with the wrong one. Chrisean is not a company. She was dressed for battle. He jumped on live and said, "You're mad at Chrisean for doing what every other rapper's man has been doing in silence." One aspect of karma that Nicki Minaj is aware of is that, without uttering a single word, she presented it as shade and set the barbs into overdrive. In her cryptic communication, she never mentioned names. Thousands of people participated in intense discussions on whether Chrisean was exposing the game or just taking advantage of it, with reaction channels ranging from impressive to Armin Wiggins and mob radio broadcasting lengthy disputes. What started out as a disorganized tale of infidelity soon grew into something more than just music. A cultural flashpoint that asks what happens when women begin to use visibility as power instead of defending industry narratives. When the distinctions between love, desire, and conflict become indistinguishable and retaliation becomes its own brand. Cardi is committed to changing her image, Offset has stayed quiet, and Chrisean is rising through scandal, chaos, and confession. However, as the industry waits to see what happens next, it is trembling. There was more to her midnight post than merely Offset receipts. It brought in a new, surprising character who made the current Cardi Offset problem story even more extensive. The hip-hop community froze as Cardi and Jada Chief's 3 red names showed up. Most famously known as Lil, Jada. The following revelation was shocking because Baby X had never been connected to this drama previously. In a voice memo that came to light, a woman stated uneasily but unequivocally that Cardi hated Chrisean and wanted her banned from the industry, and that Jada was involved in the scheme. Fans quickly started assembling theories, presenting a picture of backdoor plots and connections that went much beyond individual treachery. Chrisean's ominous promise added fuel to the fire. She argued that she had the receipts to support her claim that this was about everything they had done to her in secret, not just one night or one altercation. She alluded to an arsenal that was ready to blow up, including recordings from private parties, discussions with insiders, purported direct messages from female rappers, and even texts from Jada cautioning her not to fight Cardi. One eerie message on her post served as the finale. On Friday, the final tape will be released. Not a recording, not a post, not an interview. Fans became hysterical after reading that one paragraph, wondering how far this web went and if Jada herself might have been captured on tape dragging Cardi. The apparent love triangle was now turning into a possible industry scandal that may reveal the covert power struggles of Atlanta's hip-hop elite. Chrisean has transformed the music industry into a battleground, and her poise makes the mayhem all around her even more unsettling. The abrupt removal of Offset is the most startling twist. While his bodyguard momentarily uploaded a mysterious "pray for bro" message before removing it, his camp acknowledged that he missed a scheduled studio session. While Chrisean casually shares pictures and promotes her new song as if she is utterly unconcerned, almost as though she knows she is sitting on a weapon that may destroy careers. Card's crew is ignoring reporters and refusing to speak. She claims that Cardi and Jada plotted to blacklist her, but they were duped by her well-planned scheme. Cardi is now using legal protections to strengthen her brand. Chrisean is getting ready to release her last tape this Friday, and Jada has gone oddly quiet. Chrisean, Cardi, Jada. and Offset are all stuck in the center of a hazardous square that has evolved from a tangled triangle of antagonism. The evidence is mounting, the scene is prepared, and everyone is watching to see who will collapse first. Although it is unclear if the proof consists of a hacked private chat, a leaked video, secret documents, or an embarrassing phone call, the industry is consumed by the suspense.